people of God. How's it going? I'm here. Me and Rocky here. We in the dark, but we here. Me and Rocky, we here in the dark, but we are here. Want me to prove it? Ha! We here. There we go. There we go. We here. We gonna talk about it. Everybody wants to rule. Ain't that right, Rocky? All these motherfuckers want to rule the world. Ain't that right, Rocky? These motherfuckers is crazy. Rocky said, yep. Anyway, what's up, everybody? Duval County, Florida. Shit. Be all right. I'll be all right, running. Duval County sounds like somewhere where a nigga can't spit on the ground before he get his ass lynched. Salute to Duval County. B. Ames, what's up? Shayla, Dana Dane, Dre, Mr. Smoke, Kenneth Berry, what's up? Willie Mays, Detroit in the building. And like I start off most broadcasts, if the weed smoke is too much for you, leave. That means the message is not for you. If the weed smoke is too much for you, go find somebody that don't smoke weed so you could think that they extra moral. All right. Anyway, what's up, Golden, Dora Gems, Lamones Jr.? I ain't seen Lamones in a minute. What's up, man? W, Shayla, yeah, rest in peace, Grady, Desmond from the Sanford and Son. And I read something today that it's been confirmed that Billy Bates died from Parliament Funkadelic. It's been a lot of rumors about Billy Bates over the last month. There was a rumor that he died about a month ago, and he didn't. So I'm not quite sure. So I'm gonna hold off the rest in peace of Billy Bates until I get a double confirmation. I say quadruple confirmation because two different places said he did die, but two different places said he died about a month ago also. So I'm gonna wait. I'm waiting till George Clinton say something. Zero fool said out here smoking the tweeds. Separate Cam. Salute. All right, so let's break it down because I ain't got all night. It's Grammy weekend here in LA, and I got to party. Been out partying all weekend, these Grammy parties. So before but anyway, so first thing I want to talk about today is let's talk about the Deontay Kyle situation, and then we're going to go into J. Cole. They both share the common bond of being half black, half white. I don't want to make a general statement about people who are half black, half white. You know, I'm not a general statement kind of guy. But sometimes general statements do apply. I personally like nuance. So let's get into some nuance, all right? So let's start off with the Deontay Kyle guy. For those of you who don't know, there's this podcast that's been going viral this week, the Grits and Eggs podcast, because of what Deontay Kyle had to say about quote unquote FBA. And what we heard was a lot of talking points that the Democrats have been making for a long time. The talking points were, we aren't tied to anything political. You know, he went so far as to say that I understand that other groups talk bad about Black Americans, but Black Americans should rise above it and shouldn't stoop low to talk about them in return. Let's break that down. First off, judging by the thumbnail, y'all saw that hat dude had on. Some of these people tell you off top by just looking at them, these niggas is crazy. Go look at that dude. Go look at the thumbnail. Even though it's an AI redo, that dude really had a beanie on that looked like that with headphones on. First off, if you have let me tell y'all something real quick. If you have an interface, you don't need no goddamn headphones. You do not need headphones if you have an interface. Interfaces have echo cancellation. How many times do you see me with the headphones on when I'm on my computer? And my audio is always on point. When I'm on computer, my audio is always on point. You don't never see me with no damn headphones. Because all it takes is a fucking interface with echo cancellation. And you can get one for a couple $100. And if you're blogging, you should have that. The only reason why you need headphones is if you got somebody else talking in your ear. That's the only time you need it. So he got these headphones on with these shit locks and a beanie over top that looks like antlers, like mini antlers, like like when deer horn are just starting to grow in before they become full on antlers. It's just a couple little horns. Dude look like a fucking walking circus. Somebody says I can't see you. Duh, dummy. Nobody can see me, brother. But salute to you. Salute to you. Can you see that blunt every time I make a pull? Can you see that? Can you see this? Can you see that? Anyway, but salute to you. Yeah, but you can see that spliff. All that matter is you can hear me. But anyway, Rocky, these people are crazy. So anyway, they make that. If you notice, Deontay Kyle made the same talking point the Amazing Ferret made. The Amazing Ferret and Deontay Kyle made the same talking point about FBA not being political. FBA not being political. Yet FBA and that whole thing is what's behind the current reparations movement that is taking hold in California, New York, Texas, Georgia, Virginia, Maryland. Well, I don't know about Virginia, but Maryland. No, Virginia does have it. Eve's in Virginia. She told me about the reparations stuff in Virginia. It's gotten very political. And the FBA movement has done so many things political in the last 5 years, 6 years since the pandemic that you can't separate. You literally cannot separate FBA from politics or ADOS from politics or not NBA, Native Black American. You literally, there's already been, that cake has already been baked, homie, you know? Oh, you said Deontay Kyle, Josh Brown, the super chat, appreciate the super chat, said Deontay is a failed rapper turned podcaster. So all you got to do is open up the books. There's been far too much done from people who identify as under the FBA lineage politically. You know, now you're getting delineation has now reached medical forms. Delineation has reached work, job applications. In California, delineation has reached the reparations. It's like delineation is part of the reparations. There's been way too much done to separate the two. So when you hear people like Deontay Kyle and The Amazing Ferret talk about that. You, they're lying to you. And one thing I don't respect is a liar. I don't respect a liar. If you have something, if you have a disagreement or an issue with somebody or something, then let it stand on truth. Because if you have a legitimate gripe with something, with something or somebody, your legitimate gripes can stand to testing. Okay? Gripes can stand the test. All right? And the test of your truth, what you feel truth is true. If what you feel is true and what you feel is righteous, it can stand up to questioning. So when a person needs to lie, you know off top they on some BS. Second, you understand when it comes to things like this, when it comes to if you want to know if it's a psyop or if the government's behind it, because if you want to find out somebody's an agent or not, here's one thing you can do. When you see the same talking point get spread and people keep driving home the same talking point over and over and over again, FBA is a cult. FBA is not grounded in politics. Oh, that delineation is stupid. You literally FBA hate and call every one of immigrants tethers. And the whole purpose of the word tether is to delineate the good, dope, welcome, fun, loving, and loved immigrants. Because I told you that before. One of my homeboys on my foundation is from the Caribbean. Oh, and celebration. My foundation has reached full 501 full approval from the IRS. So even though I've been operating as a foundation now, I can give you guys a receipt to write off your contributions. So understand that, okay? Understand that. You know, we real here. We really with it. The FBA delineation movement is what inspired me to do my Black American Music Family Tree, to really identify and get into the roots of Black American music and give Black American music the respect that it's never gotten. Because the world likes to give our credit to, this instrument came from Africa, that song came from Europe, but they never, or they'll say, okay, if they do give credit to America, they'll be like, well, there was some slaves and slavery. The work and the research that I'm doing is a complete answer to what we call the quote-unquote FBA movement, delineation movement. Focused, comprehensive study on music that was created here in the United States of America. What's up, DJ G Kenny? I appreciate y'all. So now if you want to give some good large donations to my foundation, we got you. It's a complete write-off. You can write off your donations now when you donate to bamfamilytree.org. And you can donate at bamfamilytree.org. BAM, B-A-M, familytree.org. You can click on the button right there on the website to donate now. You said Easy Eye. You said they try to say Tariq made the Haitian documentary just for money. Well, did they ever say that about Ken Burns? Like, I want people to why would you make a documentary? I put out my first documentary. I put out, as much as people talked about, hey, Dwann, do a documentary. When I had it up for pay, when I did it behind a paywall, I ain't gonna lie. I was disappointed. And that's part of the reason why this one's taking a little bit longer. I probably had thousands of people tell me I need to do a documentary. And my first mini doc, what, 30, 40 people paid for it behind the paywall? Once I put it behind the paywall, I probably got like 40 people to pay for it. And honestly, if I'm gonna be 100 with y'all, if I'm gonna be 100 with y'all to show, to be open with y'all, it disappointed me a little bit. You know what I mean? It kind of hurt a little bit. It was like, man, I was hearing all this, Dwann, put this out, put this out, put this out. And then when I put it out, only like 40 people paid. When I did the live screening that I did for it, it was like 40 people paid for the live screening. And then when I put it out there for free, when I had it for free on this channel, man, that little 20-minute long doc had like 5,000 views. You don't get no fucking money off no goddamn documentary. And as much as people talk about, like right now, I'm still doing my gospel music documentary. I'm putting it together. I'm 2.5 years into putting my gospel music. I started filming on that documentary September 2023. And I'm still, I have like 6 hours of footage. I'm editing it down to a good, hopefully an hour and a half, hour 45 minutes. But my hopes ain't up. If I'm gonna be 100 with y'all, my hopes are not up. Like, I'm doing this music on the gospel roots of Black American music for the archives, for the information. I'm already knowing 9 out of 10 people telling me to do it ain't gonna put up a motherfucking dime when it come out. That's just a fact. Most niggas just want to sound good. Man, I'm gonna buy it. Man, I'm gonna be there. No, the fuck you not. No, you're not. So when it comes down to it, you don't get no goddamn money off no documentaries. Documentaries, for the most part, information porn for people. They learn something they didn't know. They want it for free. And then they go back living their life the way they live their life. I'm in these streets doing documentaries and stuff like that. People don't like paying for that kind of shit. They don't like paying for that kind of shit. It's only a handful that will pay for that kind of stuff. Most won't. So that's what it is. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. That's just the long and short of it. That's what it is. And you don't make money off documentaries like that. You really don't. Documentaries are a labor of love. And they're very intense. Because if you got one thing wrong with your documentary, people going to use that to discredit your whole documentary. You better not pronounce a word wrong. So that's cap. Second, what are you doing? Like, my thing is this. Black Americans need all hands on deck. We don't need just to do documentaries. We need everybody to do a documentary or to do exposés in their given field of expertise. If you can't do a documentary, do a podcast, do a blog, do something in your field. If you're a teacher, what's going on with black folks needs to be exposed, and we're not getting that shit from mainstream media. So before you be critical of what one person's thing is, man, do your own. Especially if you got a following. People out there, do not take this shit from people with followings. Like y'all saw The Amazing Ferret. The Amazing Ferret, with his custom hamster wheels, did all that talking about Tariq's documentary and microphone check. I take offense to anything about microphone check because I was in it. He did all that talking, but the amazing ferret got triple the YouTube subscribers as Tariq. Okay, do your own. You got influence, brother. Do it in your field of expertise. It don't have to be on the same topics Tariq covered. Whatever your field of expertise is, whatever your point of view is, you got 3 times the audience of that man on YouTube. Do something. That's all you gotta do. Y'all saw when Busta Rhymes said that shit in Fat Joe? Do you see me on this channel always bitching about Busta Rhymes and Fat Joe? Hell nah. I take what they say and what do? I'll give y'all here on YouTube a whole 2-hour long broadcast of nothing but facts going at 2 lines Fat Joe said that's wrong. I don't go around doing ad hominem attacks on Fat Joe. I go right to attacking his argument with information. And I don't my following ain't 1/1000th of Fat Joe's following. But I hear my words getting uttered all around YouTube now, ever since I started talking more. So for those of you out there, don't listen to nobody complain about something. Do your own. Yeah, pocket watch it. But they don't pocket watch Stephen A. Smith getting $200 million from Disney. Appreciate that, Free Fall Kelly. Think about that, though. Think about that, y'all. Am I making sense, chat room? I want to make sure I'm making sense to y'all. I want to make sure I'm making sense to y'all. I want to make sense to y'all. So, we all heard back in during the election last year, we all heard that the Democrats were spending all kind of money on influencers. Who remembers that? We saw Roland Martin's company got paid. Steven Jackson and that was all up all the smoke or whatever podcast. We saw in 2024 that the Harris campaign spent that Call Me Daddy podcast girl, whatever her name is. They spent $100-some odd million in online influence. Question: do you think they stopped? Let's pay attention to the pattern, Black. I'm about to break the pattern down for y'all. One gift that God gave me, one of my God-given gifts, is pattern recognition. When you see I catch patterns real fast. And that's because I'm a drummer. When I play the drums in church, sometimes you're going to go, there have been times that I've had to go to a church that I've never played at before, never rehearsed with the band. And I show up Sunday morning and I gotta play. That's happened a lot for me. Like I've had to wake up, get a call Friday, Saturday. Hey, our drummer can't make it. Neither can our backup. We heard you're a good drummer. Can you make it to church Sunday at 8 a.m.? And I'm like, yeah. And then they how much do you charge? Back then when I played regularly, I was charging $500. $500 you got me for your Sunday service. And it's drummers that charge more, it's drummers that charge less. But my rate when I played regularly was $500. And this is a nice sized church. And I show up on Sunday morning at 7:30. Church started at 8 o'clock. I gotta play these 6 songs with musicians I've never played with in my life. And the only thing I get is a count off. The keyboard player gonna look at me, 4. I get 4. I get 4 quarter notes to catch the beat. I get 1 bar, 4 quarters. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I gotta play. So as a drummer, you learn pattern recognition real fast, or you won't eat in that world. And the pattern you need to recognize when it comes to Democrat shills is you got to ask yourself, where do these people come from? If you start to see, if you're on YouTube, Facebook, whatever, and you never heard of somebody, but now they're all of a sudden they're in your mentions. Every time you scroll, you're seeing these people pop up. You're seeing they have thousands of likes and hundreds of thousands of subscribers, but you never heard of them. And they really came on the scene in the last year or so. You got to ask yourself, how did they get hundreds of thousands of subscribers? How did I never hear from this person? But they always end up on my feed. In today's internet, with today's algorithm, you could almost be for certain somebody that you ain't heard of. And then here's the next thing. I'm gonna finish that statement. Somebody you never heard of, been right there in front of you, and they talking pro-black stuff. If they're talking pro-black, you never heard of them, and now I'm saying they're always in your face, be aware. Because that gets to my second point of this pattern. Shills always start off sounding like Malcolm X. They like go back to the Breakfast Club. The Breakfast Club, when they wanted to get valid credibility, they brought on Dick Gregory, they brought on Farrakhan, they brought on, at the time, this before, when we still thought Dr. Umar's school was gonna happen 10 years ago. They brought on Dr. Umar before we started questioning his school. They advertised Hidden Colors with Tariq. So the Breakfast Club put people in front of us that we trusted so that they could gain their credibility. Same with Fox Sports. Fox Sports, for the first year Fox Sports was around, was Skip and Shannon. The first year of Skip and Shannon Sharp, that year, it was the year Trump was running for president. It started while Trump was running for president, and it went through the first few months of his presidency. Shannon Sharp was sounding like Malcolm X. These people know exactly what we want to hear, black people. So in today's world, they're going to put somebody out there that's saying 90% what you want to hear. If you see somebody saying all you want to hear and the algorithm is friendly to them and you never heard of them before, you're almost 90% guaranteed that shit's set up. It may be 10% that sneak through that's legit, but 9 out of 10 times, they're talking pro-black, they're in your face all the time, and you hadn't heard of them before. That shit's a setup. Because at some point, they're going to flip. And Deontay Kyle, I've been paying, he started coming into my algorithm regularly this past summer. And I always, no, look, y'all, and no disrespect, I may have some of y'all listening, but anytime I see half-breeds with dreadlocks, I watch the fuck out. Well, a lot of motherfuckers, pay attention. Niggas with the blackest hairstyles oftentimes be the biggest sellouts. Niggas with big ass afros and dreads. And pay attention when you watch these documentaries. Like when you watch those Ken Burns documentaries, and they have a black person on, they always gonna have some dreadlock black person, some Afrocentric looking nigga, sounding like a goddamn white boy talking about our history. Am I wrong? You gotta what, man? It's always gonna be some nigga looking like he belong like a he need to be cooking jerk chicken. And you listen to that nigga talk, he gonna say we're African Americans. We all come from Africa, and slavery was only in the South. In the North, black people fled from the South to the North for opportunity to escape Jim Crow, as if Jim Crow wasn't still going on in the North. They're gonna say things like, "Well, if black people just come together, and when we come together and unify, and when we go to church, and when we vote Democrat, that's when everything gets good." It's always some afro-wearing, dreadlock-ass nigga talking like that. Yeah, Van Jones used to have locks. Yeah. He just, them hoes started receding, so he had to cut his hair off. It's the blackest looking niggas. And that goes for the full black. Now, when you see a half-breed with dreads, you can almost guarantee that nigga is conflicted. They gotta wear it as a uniform because they don't feel it inside. I ain't talking about light-skinned niggas. I look at my mom. My mom is very, very light-skinned, but all 4 of her grandparents are black, and all 8 of her great-grandparents are black. The last white we see in that lineage goes back to like 4 generations back. But them niggas, like, I got a picture of her granddad, the one that my mom's granddad, the one that invented the railroad cross. That motherfucker look white, damn near, but he's registered as a mulatto, and he got denied the play. He was a slave, and he was his great granddad, like not him, his grandfather, my great granddad, the one who invented the railroad crossing. His grandfather was going to be left the plantation in Natchez, Mississippi, but the governor of Mississippi stepped in 1855 and would not allow that plantation to be handed down because they were colored, mulatto. So I ain't talking about black folks that are light skinned. I'm talking about one direct white parent. There's a conflict there, oftentimes, not all the time, but there's oftentimes a conflict. As there should be, because you're literally half white, but America tells you you're all black. There should be conflict. Those who don't have that conflict are special. It's the Drake effect, right? Right. There's a conflict there. And oftentimes we gravitate, and he said his mom left him. People oftentimes gravitate towards a parent that's not there. The parents, like, I saw this all the time when I work with kids. And this goes to you grandparents out there raising your grandchildren. If there are any grandparents raising your grandchildren, I'm sure you can attest to this. And if there are any single parents out there, I'm sure you can attest to this. The single parents and the grandparents, when that child starts to get them hormones coming, and that rage and that anger starts to come in their life, the active parent usually gets the brunt of a child's anger. And if a child gets to see the other parent that's less active, they tend to have a great time and fantasize about that other parent that's not there. The other parent may come and see them every 3 years. and they long for them. They create fantasies about them because it's something about, and I can't tell you exactly what it is, but if I worked with 30 families, 28 of them had this issue. Working with grandparents who raise their children, grandparents that raise their children, they get a lot of rage thrown their way. What's up, nigga? And it'd be like the grandparent ain't the one that deserves that rage, but really the rage is coming from the missing parent not being there. The parent that is there usually gets dumped on the energy for the parent that's not there. So it's not a clear picture. Even if you're mixed breed and say your white side left you or whatever, it's not like you're gonna hate. You'll say, people will say things like hate, but there's underneath that hate, there's a longing, which leads to subconscious behaviors. You know? And I'm not saying this is the Deontay Kyle problem. I don't know. But what I am saying is I'm not going to buy it for those hiding behind, well, that parent, I wasn't raised by that parent. I was raised by this parent. Yeah, it doesn't mean the longing to be the parent that wasn't there still doesn't exist. That's something I'm going to have to watch through your behavior and through your actions. And when I hear, yeah, I'm pro-black, yeah, I'm pro-black, yeah, I'm pro-black, but I have an issue with you delineating and speaking up for yourself, now I got a question, how pro-black are you? Am I making sense, chat? Like, what does that really mean? If you're secure within yourself, my moves shouldn't bother you, right? That's a strong way of being, you know? When you are secure within yourself, the next person's moves don't bother you. What we got to understand, black people, is this. People who are offended by a delineation are people who are not secure within their own culture. That's the meat and potatoes of it. They're not secure within themselves. They're just projecting to you. And not only are they not secure within themselves, they think that they're better than you. Ooh, did I just say that? Did I just say that? What's really underneath that is these people think, a lot of people out there, a lot of groups out there think that they're better than black people. And when they come around us, they kicking it with the homies. They playing around in the slums. People feel a sense of superiority to us. That's why when you're dealing with quote unquote tethers, when people who use the word tether, that's why when you're dealing with them, they can forgive white America for treating them the way that white America treats them. But black Americans, they can't forgive us for calling them an African booty scratcher. You got to ask yourself, why do people still get hung up on black people saying things? These people come from countries to where the government steals all the wealth and don't put the wealth back into the country. They come from places that are deprived of resources by Europeans. They know what Europeans have done to their lands. They know all the murders that Europeans have done, but they can forgive all that, but they cannot forgive you for calling them an African booty scratcher. The question is why? The answer is they think that they're better than you. And That whole I'm better than black Americans. Appreciate that, Nada. That whole I'm better than black Americans. That doesn't get Nada 8697 is always your support is always appreciated. Understand that. It's always appreciated. But they're supposed to be better than you. So how are these people that I'm better than rhetorically running circles around me? They're supposed to be stupid. I'm supposed to be smart, but I cannot keep up with them. Ask yourself what kind of cognitive dissonance that starts. See, the thing is, when we show self-respect and self-pride, and then we start putting points up on the board for our accomplishments, that creates cognitive dissonance. What is the physical result of cognitive dissonance? Anger. This is where black folks, we got to tie our different areas of knowledge in, because all knowledge, everything works together. Everything is 360 degrees. Cause and effect. It all works together. So when you hear about cognitive dissonance, that's not in a vacuum. You got to look and see where that applies. What causes cognitive dissonance? When a person's worldview is destroyed, right? And this goes for anybody. This message goes to anybody who's willing to listen. When I say black people, if you ain't black, that's cool. You still got love too. I'm just speaking about a situation with us right now. That's not. But again, I shouldn't even have to say that, because people of other races listening aren't offended by me doing that. Those who are what? Secure within themselves. And if me talk like this makes you feel insecure, I'm not going to judge you. That just means you have to ask yourself, why does it make you feel insecure? And then you have to go through the process of cleansing your mind from that, if you don't want it to make you insecure anymore. Or you can choose to go back in your bubble. That's your choice. But understand that you have a choice. So going to the Deontay Kyle guy, it's the same thing with him. A lot of mixed breeds tell the truth, shame the devil. A lot of mixed breeds think that they better than full breed black people. Ooh. Did I just say that? Did I just say that? Dwann, how can you say that? I'm glad you asked. Let me answer how I say that. Press the number one, chat room, if you've been around mixed breed people, and those of us who we all have, especially if we're in the college. What do they say when something goes wrong? When do they do something bad or do something that's dirty? They say that's my black side, right? Chat room, press the number one if you heard somebody, whenever it comes to something negative or derogatory, they say that's my black side. I'm in LA. Press the number one and tell me what city you in. Press the number one and tell me what city you in when you press the number one. I'm in LA. So I've heard it a lot in LA. Where y'all from? We got one person said they haven't. About 40 that said they have. Houston, Kansas City, New Orleans, Buffalo, New York, Detroit, Huntsville. Netta says she has mixed cousins in New Jersey. Norfolk, Virginia, New York, Michigan, San Diego, Colton, California. Oh, you live in Colton, Mr. Smoke? God damn, my heart goes out to you, brother. I hate Colton. Jeruba Valley, all that shit. I be like, Lord, get me through this motherfucker. No disrespect. But I hate Colton and Fontana so much. When I want to drive to Tucson, I go down through San Diego and take the 8, so I ain't got to go past Colton, that goddamn city. DC, Cleveland, Central Valley. See, we getting people from all across the country, Tennessee. We're getting people from all across the country saying that. You hang out with your mixed breed homie, and less so now. You hear it a lot less now that black folks are waking up. I'm talking pre-2016, 2005, the 90s. You heard that shit all the time in the 90s, in the 2000s. You hear it less now because people are starting to wake up. What's up, Miss Porsche? So that's my evidence. I don't say things I'm not a shock jock. Oh, I can't. If I wanted to be a shock jock on this YouTube, I really could, but I'm not. I say things that are shocking, but really I just say what people don't want to say and what we've been lied to and told is impolite to say. But when I say it, I make sure I back it with evidence. That's evidence. A lot of people who are mixed breed, they think that they better than full-bred black people. You hear it all the time. It's an air of superiority. Just because they started talking less in the last decade during the time of delineation, don't mean that that thing is still down there. Ain't still down there. I'm just talking about, appreciate that, DW. I'm just talking about our cultural experiences, normative cultural experiences. Are there deviations? Yes. Deviations always exist. Exceptions always exist. You dig what I'm saying? These cats, like that go around, you see it in their behavior. So how does it come out? So now that I've backtracked it to that, now, when you're dealing with something like delineation, when you have someone that's black, of mixed heritage, why are you offended at delineation? As a mixed heritage person, those y'all oftentimes, y'all got a front row to how the other side is towards black, how anti-black the other side is. Y'all got front row seats. Y'all actually be at the funerals. Y'all be at the weddings. The family, yeah, white sides don't have family reunions, but Thanksgiving dinners, y'all got a front row. Black people's quote unquote racism stops at talking. Black people don't tell people now, don't go marrying them Mexicans down the street. Black people don't say don't hire that other group. Don't hire them Mexicans. But the Mexican side sure do be like, don't hire them niggas. You talk all of the we are the world shit you want. I'm not a we are the world kind of person. I just want to get people in reality, you know what I mean? This is what we see. Let's deal with it so we can fix it. The world doesn't always have to be that way. We can change it. It just requires a consciousness to change it. and it requires a willingness to address what you see. Divine God, why would you join the FBA? Either you are or you're not. You can't join the FBA, and it ain't no leader. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, Dwann Brown ain't joining a motherfucking thing with a leader. You hear me? I didn't leave the church to get in a new religion. You dig? I don't want to join a motherfucking thing with a leader. Your ass end up like the people who followed Dr. York, like Mark Lamont Hill, followed Dr. York and ended up ooh-wee. And then people that followed the real Jim Jones, shit. Yeah, you your own leader. I'm the kind of person that speaks to people who want to lead themselves. I just give some encouragement and some direction to people who are going to take whatever I say and synthesize that into however it works for them. That's what I speak to. Don't follow me, shit. And they keep pressing to make Tariq the leader. And it's not working. It's not working. Highway 20 Skinny said they railroaded Dr. York in your opinion. Okay. You seem like a reasonable cast, so I'm not gonna say they didn't. I didn't follow the Dr. York case close enough to say that if they did or didn't. I do know that railroading black people is American as apple pie, so I'm not gonna tell you they didn't. But I didn't pay close enough attention to how he got busted to confirm nor deny that statement. You know what I mean? Yeah, you're right. He's not the leader, even if you trademarked it. No different than the person who trademarked Black American is the leader of Black Americans. Is the person that trademarked Black Americans, are they the leader of Black Americans? Do you even know the name of the person who trademarked Black Americans? Or I mean, sorry, Black African Americans. Yeah, African Americans just trademarked. Do you know who trademarked African Americans? Are they their leader? Are they our leader? And if so, how? That's the only way I entertain that statement. If you can tell me who the leader of who trademarked African Americans and how they're our leader and what are they led? And do people listen to them? So yeah. Y'all talking points is kind of weak to people who do like, and so when you listen to Deontay Kyle talk like that, you understand that these are very, very, very weak, ultra weak talking points. And they're repeated because somebody's telling these people to repeat these talking points. Here's another way you could tell a shield for the Democrats. They stupid. These motherfuckers is dumb. Rocky, you wanna come? Come on. Come on. Shields aren't that smart, y'all. I need y'all to understand that. Shields are not the sharpest knives in the cabinet. Look at Deontay Kyle when you see him talk. That nigga cross-eyed. I'll be goddamn if I listen to somebody talk that's cross-eyed. I'll be goddamn if I listen to somebody that got a heavy lisp. Nigga, if you can't get your tongue out the way when you talking, you ain't got nothing I need to be hearing like that. As far as you being my leader. Now you might have a lisp and be an engineer. You can train me on something, a job. Yeah, that's one thing. Man, but I ain't about to take advice from no nigga with a lisp. Like Shannon Sharp. What if you was listening to advice from Shannon Sharp? Shannon Sharp, you saw what that Shannon Sharp stupid ass did with that woman. That's a dumb nigga right there. He's a great interviewer, but that's some lisp nigga shit. What if you was taking advice from Shannon Sharp? Man, you be owing all kind of money to these hoes. Cause that's what niggas with heavy lisp do. No disrespect to the lisp. But you double don't listen to a cross-eyed nigga. Anton Daniels is telling you exactly who he is. That nigga can't even see straight. How can a man thinketh straight if he can't seeth straight, nigga? Dwann 316. Come on, Rocky. So a man seeth as he thinketh, or whatever. Bullshit, whatever. I just made up. How can a man thinketh straight if he can't seeth straight? This nigga, Deontay Kyle's a, you see that nigga cross-eyed? I'm just playing, am I? Rocky, am I playing? You good, Rocky? Tell the people what's up. You see, Rocky told y'all what's up. You good, Rocky? You good? Tell the people what's up, man. You want to say what's up to the people? Rocky like, yeah, whatever. Fuck that. You see him? You see him? As a man seeth, so he thinketh. What's up, Kendall? Yeah, nah, Rocky don't bark. Rocky don't bark, he be chilling. Well, he has a bark, but he very rarely does he do it. That's right, baby boy. Rocky be right here next to me, chilling. So, that's just my point, my take on that. To go down the list before we get to the next topic. You see somebody coming out of nowhere that you never really seen like that. They got a big following and you hadn't heard of them. They're talking hella pro-black, but they're getting favored in the algorithm. And then when they throw that hook in there, the talking points when they attack the grassroots, it's going to be the same talking points Roland Martin was making 10 years ago. And they're going to say that it's not tied to politics and all this other shit. They're going to kind of all say the same thing. Appreciate that super chat. As he seeth, he beeth. Yeah. If a nigga cross-eyed people ain't got shit, you better not be taking no advice from a cross-eyed nigga. Only thing a cross-eyed nigga can teach you is how to survive in the wilderness. They good at that. They can teach you how to forage. A cross-eyed nigga know the difference between a berry and a poison. You dig? And cross-eyed niggas, they can teach you how to fight. Like I'll take a cross-eyed trainer. Cross-eyed trainer had to be tough growing up. Because cross-eyed trainers had kids like me in class when they was in the 3rd grade. And I was on their head. Every time the teacher turned around and walk on the right on the chalkboard, it was kids like me in the 3rd grade. What's up, C and I dog? So I learned how to fight from a cross-eyed nigga. You know what I mean? I learned computer programming from a cross-eyed nigga. Cross-eyed niggas You know what I mean? I learned how to become a tech. I learned tech from a cross-eyed nigga, but I am not about to take advice from a cross-eyed nigga. Hell nah. Nope. Nope. You can call me mean if you want. Fuck you. Where did I get this shit from? I'm having fun. That's where I got it from. Y'all do know sometimes I practice stand-up comedy bits in front of y'all. You dated a one-eyed nigga, Kendall? You had a patch-eyed nigga? Kendall dated a Raider mascot. Ah, shit. I do gotta, but nah, going back to that Deontay Kyle dude, that's all I had to say about that. And if I offend you, no offense. Don't take no offense. All my shit talk come with a little bit of fun. A lot of fun, actually. I ain't about to sit here and be like that teacher on Ferris Bueller. Bueller, Bueller, Bueller. Not me, goddammit. Oh yeah, I take a cross-eyed trainer. Man, cross-eyed trainer will get you in shape, nigga. One of my homeboys is a former cross-eyed trainer. He got his eyes fixed. One of my homeboys, his name is Titus. My homeboy Titus, he a comedian. That's an in-shape nigga here. And I got big love for Titus too. One of my favorite people here in LA. Man, Titus, you know, he done been by the house plenty of times. Fight parties and shit. He used to have really bad cross eyes. But he got his shit recalibrated. I think I'm gonna use that one on stage, recalibrated. But homie's a trainer. He's a trainer. He trained for Equinox, so you know he getting paid. That nigga train at Equinox. But he don't train at my, I'm a member of Equinox, but he don't train at my Equinox. He don't train at my Equinox. Last time I saw Titus, I was like, what's up, Ronald Isley? Is your favorite band the Isley Brothers? Is your favorite news station Eyewitness News? I was like, is your favorite workout song Eye of the Tiger? Is your girlfriend's name Irene? Is your favorite black hero of all time Ida B. Wells? I know this conversation isn't ideal. Oh shit! I'm sorry. I'll be having fun with myself. Anyway, let's get to another light-skinned half-breed. Let's get to another half-breed with dreads. J. Cole. Oh my God. He said, honey, I show the kids. I have eyes on a prize. If you offended, don't trip. Don't trip. Life, that's just part of life. You know what I mean? You know how many times I gotta hear people, Dwann, you need to lose some weight. Every time somebody see me, Oh, Dwann is, look at his chins. See, my issue isn't people talking about me. I'm cool with that. My issue is 98% of y'all ain't funny. And fat jokes are the lowest, the easiest jokes to be funny about. I only get offended when it's not funny and when it's predictable. Okay, you're gonna have the fat guy eating something. Howdy har har. How many times have we seen that? My only thing is be creative. If you're gonna say something, just I don't have an issue with people talking about me. My issue is it not being funny. That's my issue. Me not getting any entertainment out of it. I want to be entertained. You dig? But let's go to J. Cole. J. Cole released he released some song. He has I'm gonna hold off judgment completely until he releases his album next week. And I'm gonna make sure that I take at least 6 shots of espresso shots to stay awake. Cause J. Cole is one of the most boring artists ever. Like that nigga is straight up. I call him all the time. He's the Will Downing of hip hop. But J. Cole's boringness aside, what's up, Butter Love? J. Cole's boringness aside, he released 4 songs this week, and I didn't like what he was talking about. Harold Leroy said people used to tease him until he got rat poison. That's a little bit extreme. That's a little extreme. But J. Cole was talking about basically he's still the. I'm paraphrasing because I've been wanting to do the show all week from my computer, but other topics kept coming up and more important. And he basically had some lines talking about how what he would have did in the battle. J. Cole has set up a lineage of passive aggressive, very, very, very weak, not respectable behavior. Although he has some pretty decent lyrics that aren't negative, and he has positive lyrics. And I get it. Look, we hip hop and black music is so thirsty for somebody not talking about degeneracy. I think J. Cole got a pass he never deserved to get. I think J. Cole, because he came out saying things, he came out at a time hip hop was so degenerate and foul. Him being well spoken and not degenerate boosted J. Cole to a level I never felt he should be at. Was he a good rapper? Yeah. But I remember when Forest Hill came out, it was like I appreciated his lyrics too. I appreciated his style. But homie had the soul, the it factor, the thing you feel, the thing that make us love Scarface and 3000 rappers like that is that soul. Tretch, you can feel them. It's like a visceral reaction to Tupac. It's a visceral reaction. It's a visceral reaction to Kendrick, Nipsey, Q-Tip, Fonte. J. Cole never had that. It'd be Dizzle, you say you can see that now? And see, the thing is, people would tell us, "Oh man, you doing too much. Oh, you being too critical." No, that's a very valid criticism because that's why they call black music soul music. The soul is every bit as important as your ability to sing or rap or write. The soul is every much as essential of a component. And J. Cole never had that. Not saying it's a half breed issue because Tina Marie was all white, and if you ask me, Tina Marie had real soul. You get some white people who got soul. There are half breeds out there with soul. J. Cole just is one of them that ain't. Technically sound, sonically pleasing, lyrically appealing. Even when it comes down, remember he did his own production? What was that, Forest Hills Drive, where he did all his own beats? The beats were boring. The flow was boring. Just a snooze fest. Mariah Carey has some soul. There are degrees, there are levels to this. Does Mariah Carey have soul compared to Stephanie Mills? No. If Stephanie Mills is a 10 out of 10 with soul, Mariah, 3. Tina Marie had 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10. Mariah might be a 3 on the soul level. That's probably what it is. J. Cole's probably like Mariah. J. Cole's probably a 2 or a 3 on the soul level. Let's say that. Because Drake is a 1. On the soul level, Drake's a 1. J. Cole may be a 3. Drake's a 1, J. Cole's probably a 3. On the degree of soul. Scarface is a 10. Fonte's a 10 when it comes to soul. J. Cole's a 3. Nori Neal said Drake's a 0.5. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to argue with you. And I think that's really the thing with J. Cole. He ain't got no soul. And I don't appreciate the passive aggressiveness. 3,000 and big, 10. All the Goody Mob got a 10 on soul. All the Dungeon family. Them some soulful ass niggas right there, boy. Kodak Black, 0.7. You know what I mean? So J. Cole is so level low in his passive aggressiveness. You can't see. Remember, people commend J. Cole for backing out the battle. Here's the reason why I don't. J. Cole started it. J. Cole threw shots at Kendrick first. J. Cole did a record with Ab Soul, Kendrick's homeboy, and threw shots at Kendrick on an album, on a record with Ab Soul. And Ab Soul didn't hear J. Cole's part. I forgot the name of the record. But Cole threw shots at Kendrick with Kendrick's homeboy on the same song. That is some weirdo snake weenie dog behavior. That's straight up weenie dog behavior. Straight up. Fake. When I saw him do that, and then he turns around and makes it seem like, okay, I'm going to be the better man and back out. Nah, bitch ass nigga, you started it. That's fake. And I think that's proof when you listen to J. Cole, he just writing a whole bunch of shit that sound good. Get that fake, boring ass, fake consciousness out of here. Any man that's willing to manipulate two black men's friendships, that's a wiener to me. I don't care what none of y'all say. You manipulating two black men's relationship. Man, get out my face. Get out my face. Get the fuck out my face. And then after you throw the first shot, you back off with some fake high moral consciousness. Then you come out with a song later on, Puerto Antonio. Well, I would have won, and I'm still the best. I'm still the best. No, you just shut up, nigga. Rap about your neighborhood. Rap about. You know how many things are. If J. Cole, you a conscious rapper. We done went through COVID. You ain't said nothing. J. Cole ain't said nothing about COVID. Nigga, rap about reparations. Rap about Trump's economy. Rap about love. It's a lot of things to rap about. But don't rap about you being the best when you decided to lay your sword down when it was time to prove it. That's what I'm saying. It's so many things people want to give him that conscious label. Man, how you conscious and you ain't rapping about shit going on in life right now? Rap about being torn in two because the FBA movement got you delineating between your white side and your black side. Rap about how painful that is. Rap about the pain of being raised in a mixed breed household and knowing what one side of your family have to say negative about your other side of the family. Rap about that, man. Rap about your life. But don't rap about you being the best of the big three when you laid your sword down. Do I make sense, chat? Am I making sense? on Patreon yesterday. I did. Right. But y'all get what I'm saying? I gotta charge my phone because I got a shindig to get to tonight, y'all. I gotta charge my phone. But and my wife got some people coming over tonight that I don't want to see. Y'all married? Y'all be doing that? Like, yeah, they coming over? Oh yeah, I'm be out. What's up, Brandy? But y'all see, but y'all see what I'm talking about with J. Cole. You can miss me with the fake consciousness when I can't call J. Cole a conscious rapper if he doesn't have anything rapping about all this shit we seeing right now in society, inflation. And don't tell my wife I said that. Don't tell my wife I said that. What's up, Mark? But don't say, all right? Don't fall for that. And any man that's willing to put one man's friendship on the line because of a petty beef, for J. Cole to put Absol on a diss track about Kendrick without letting Absol know what he was doing, any man that would line a man up like that is not a man that I can respect. I'm sorry. You can have all the long dreads you want, talk deep and be introspective and say all the right things. The fact that you made that move showed me who you are. Don't never, as a man, don't ever lie. If you got a beef with somebody else, don't ever lie another unsuspecting man up. Don't try to split friends. You got two people who are friends. You want to use one because you being petty to line up the other one. I don't respect it. I don't respect it. And I see you as a forever snake. Somebody that I can't take all the fake humble shit. I see right through it. All right, but I gotta get up out of here. I gotta charge my phone. We got class tomorrow in Music University. If you're in the Music University, check your Patreon. I passed out the study guide for tomorrow's class on the history of R&B, class number 7. If you want to join right now on Patreon. Go to the Music University tier. Get caught up. We on class number 7 of 10. Going through the history of R&B. Class number 7 is tomorrow. You should have your study guide for tomorrow's class. It's a very comprehensive class. It's a college level course that I give on the history of R&B. Join if you're interested. All right. I'll holler at y'all.